Okay, I want you to picture a scenario. It's a Tuesday morning, you're running late, you didn't sleep well, the coffee machine jammed, and just in a moment of frustration, you snap at your partner.
Hmm.
Maybe you say something really unkind, you leave the house, the door slams, and immediately, before you even get to the car, you feel that heavy pit in your stomach.
And that's when the bargaining starts.
Exactly, the bargaining process. Subconsciously, you start thinking, okay, that was bad, I feel guilty, but if I buy them their favorite takeout tonight,
Maybe drop a 20 in the charity jar at the coffee shop.
right, and I let that guy merge in traffic, then it all evens out.
Right. We love that logic. We really, really want to believe that morality is a balance sheet, that if you pile enough good stuff on one side, it just tips the bad stuff off the other. It's comfortable.
It's incredibly human.
Right.
But today, we're diving into a text that takes that warm, fuzzy concept, looks at it, and just shreds it. We're looking at a piece called The Will of the Greatest Creator is Reflected in the Laws and Rules of Nature. It was written by Xu Feng back in May of 2015.
And I should probably warn you right up front, if you're looking for a sort of feel-good affirmation session,
Oh my God.
this might not be it.
No, bracing is the word we used, but honestly, even that feels like an understatement. When I first read this, I was just struck by how clinical it is.
Clinical's a good word.
It presents a worldview where spiritual laws operate with the exact same cold, hard precision as, say, gravity or thermodynamics.
It's a complete reframing. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack this system where the will of the creator isn't a feeling or a mysterious sign.
No emotional whispers.
None. Instead, the text argues that the will is just, visible. It's there in the strict mechanical laws of nature. If you understand the mechanics, you survive. If you don't, you crash.
And that's what surprised me. Usually when we cover spiritual texts, we're talking about grace, forgiveness, nuance,
Yeah.
the gray areas. This feels more like reading an engineering manual for a high-voltage system.
That's a perfect analogy. The text argues that justice isn't about being cruel or kind. It's about structure. The universe runs on rules.
It's basically saying, here's the wiring diagram.
Exactly. Touch the wrong wire and you get shocked. It's not personal, it's just electricity.
So let's open up this wiring diagram. The text starts by defining Tao. Now, I think for a lot of people, Tao is this mysterious, flowing, sort of indefinable energy.
The go-with-the-flow vibe.
Right. But Sui Feng pins it down very specifically here.
Yeah, in this context, the text defines Tao as the essence of all the rules and laws governing the universe. It's the consciousness of the greatest creator.
So instead of a personality you interact with, a figure on a cloud making decisions.
No. The text argues the creator's will is the laws of nature.
So biology, physics, cause and effect. These aren't separate from spirituality in this view.
Not at all. In this worldview, they are the theology. The creator doesn't need to speak to you directly because the laws are already speaking. Align with them. You get a reward. Happiness, health, success.
And if you conflict with them.
You get punished. Pain, illness, failure. It's almost robotic. Input A leads to output B.
And that leads us to what you called the no bribes policy.
Ah, yes. This is a huge deviation from how a lot of people practice spirituality.
This part really stood out. The text is so adamant that you cannot reach the ultimate Tao, that highest state of being, just by wishing for it.
Or praying for it or being emotionally pious. It's a total removal of favoritism.
The text says, there is no way to get rewards from the greatest creator by wishing for them.
Doesn't matter how much you love the creator or how loud you sing the hymns. If you violate the mechanics of the universe, the mechanics will respond.
And the example it uses to drive this home is, well, it's pretty graphic. It talks about drinking poison.
It's a very stark illustration. The text says, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, that it doesn't matter how many joss sticks you burn or how many times you cow in a temple.
How devout you look.
None of it matters. If you drink poison, you will die.
It just cuts right through any hypocrisy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You could be the holiest person in the room, praying your heart out. But if you ingest cyanide, biology takes over.
The chemical reaction doesn't check your spiritual resume before it kills you.
The chemical reaction is the law.
Precisely. And the text says, this is the only way that things work. It's trying to shift you from a personality-based universe where you can plead with the authority figure.
You can apologize and get out of trouble.
Right. To a rule-based universe. Gravity doesn't care if you're a philanthropist. If you step off a cliff, you fall.
Which is, that's a terrifying thought. We like to think our intent matters. I didn't mean to step off the cliff.
And in a human court, intent does matter. But in the laws of nature described here, not so much. The consequence is tied to the action, not the feeling behind it.
Okay, so if the no bribes policy wasn't stressful enough, we need to talk about the accounting system.
Ah, the rejection of the offset theory.
This is the part that completely dismantles that whole bargaining scenario we started with. Most of us operate on what? The net positive theory.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. If I'm 80% good and 20% bad, I'm a net good person, so the universe should treat me well.
I can work off the bad behavior.
Right. I yelled at my spouse, but I bought them dinner, so we're good. That's the common interpretation of karma, like a balancing scale.
Hmm.
But this source just explicitly rejects that.
It says, and this is a direct quote, merits and mistakes do not offset each other.
And it's worth pausing on that because it's so counterintuitive.
It says a merit is a merit, a mistake is a mistake. They are two separate accounts. They run parallel.
Think of it like this. You have a bank account and you have a criminal record. Let's say you work incredibly hard. You save $1 million. That's your merit. You have a huge balance in the rewards account.
Okay, liking the sound of that account.
Huh? Right. But then, on the weekend, you commit a robbery. You break the law.
Okay.
So when you go before the judge, he doesn't say, well, you have $1 million in the bank, so we'll just deduct the fine from your savings and let you go.
No, of course not.
No. You keep your money, you earned it, that's your merit, but you still go to prison for the robbery.
So you get the reward and the punishment.
Exactly. They are simultaneous. The text implies the greatest creator ignores nothing. It says, even if we perform 10,000 good deeds, we will still be punished for doing one bad thing.
That's ruthless. It sounds like there's absolutely no sliding scale.
It's the two accounts theory. You get the payout from both ledgers. Building a hospital doesn't stop the police from giving you a speeding ticket on the way to the ribbon cutting.
The hospital's a merit, the speeding is a mistake.
And you get the praise for one and the fine for the other. They never cancel out.
I'm just imagining living with that level of scrutiny. It's like having a permanent record that never, ever gets expunged. It definitely adds a layer of anxiety.
It raises the stakes, for sure. But if you connect this to the bigger picture, it's about absolute accountability. If you knew that nothing could cancel out a mistake, you would be incredibly meticulous about not dropping the glass in the first place.
It removes the safety net. It forces you to be present in every single action.
It demands what the text calls meticulous living. You stop trading good deeds for bad ones and start trying to eliminate the bad ones entirely because you know the bill will come due.
And just to make sure we understand there are no exceptions, the text gives us a list.
And it is quite a list. It basically says, I don't care who you are.
Literally everyone. The text lists the VIPs, the Pope, the hierarch, the master, the emperor,
It even lists the devout disciple.
and the messenger of the greatest creator.
That's a crucial inclusion. In so many spiritual communities, there's this idea that the leader, the guru, has a special in with the divine, that they are protected.
Or that because they're doing God's work, they get a pass on the smaller rules.
This text says, no, absolutely not. It warns the reader directly. Don't assume that just because you follow the creator, you're saved from the consequences of your mistakes.
It kills the teacher's pet phenomenon.
Completely. You can't sit in the front row, bring the teacher an apple, and then expect to get out of detention when you break a rule.
It feels like a check on hubris, too. If you start thinking, I'm a spiritual person, so I'm immune.
Exactly. It just emphasizes this theme of non-emotional justice.
Yeah.
Your status, your title, your reputation, they mean nothing to the laws of nature. An emperor who drinks poison dies just as fast as a layperson.
The law is blind.
Mm-hmm.
So we've established the system is strict, mechanical, and plays no favorites. Now we get to the goal. The text talks about ascending to a higher space of life. But based on everything we've just discussed, I'm guessing this isn't an easy climb.
It is described as rigorous, yes.
Mhm.
And here's where the text introduces a numerical standard that I've found, well, pretty daunting.
The 100-point system.
Right. It suggests that if the standard for a mortal to ascend to immortality is 100 points, then 99 points is effectively 0.
Wait, 99 is 0. That's incredibly harsh. In any other context, a 99% is an A+.
You're valedictorian with a 99. Here, it's a failing grade because it's binary. You either ascend or you don't. Think of it like a password for your email. If your password has 12 characters and you type in 11 of them correctly,
You don't get in.
you don't get in. Close enough doesn't open the lock.
And to illustrate this, Shua Feng uses a cultural reference, Monk Tang, from Journey to the West.
It's a great analogy. For anyone who doesn't know the story, Meng Tang has to travel to get these sacred sutras, but it's not just a road trip. He has to undergo a specific number of trials.
That's 81 hardships.
Exactly. And the text points out he had to endure exactly 81. There's a part in the story where they think they're done, they have the scriptures, they're flying back.
And they realize the count is off.
Right. The deities realize he's one hardship short, he's only at 80. So what happens?
They literally drop him out of the sky.
Into a river. Gets the scriptures all wet. That was hardship number 81. He had to face it to complete the number.
He couldn't just say, look, I did 80, I'm tired, let's call it a day. He would have failed.
He would have returned with nothing. And the text uses this to reframe how we should look at our own struggles. Usually when we hit a setback, we think, oh, this is bad luck, or why is this happening to me?
We see it as an interruption. I was doing so well, and then this flat tire ruined my day.
But this text argues that these setbacks are the curriculum. They're hardships that must be traversed. If you need 100 points to graduate, and a specific tragedy gives you 1 point, you actually need that tragedy to happen.
That completely flips the script. The obstacle isn't blocking the path.
The obstacle is the path.
It turns victimhood into a quest.
Exactly. You aren't suffering randomly, you're collecting the necessary points. If you skip the hardship, you miss the point, literally. And it goes even deeper, saying, the sin we sow can only be dispelled by reaping a painful consequence. There is no alternative.
Karma as debt payment.
And you can't close the account until the debt is paid. The painful consequence is the receipt.
So we've got the stick, the punishment, the hardships. What's the carrot? The text talks about absolutely beautiful things.
It does. It describes a realm of absolute beauty, but, and you can probably guess this by now, there's a condition.
There's always a catch with this text.
The catch is the relationship between beautiful things and a beautiful life. The text says you cannot enjoy absolutely beautiful things until you possess an absolutely beautiful life.
Okay, break that down. What does an absolutely beautiful life mean here?
Think of life as your internal software, your consciousness. The argument is, imagine giving a rare, delicate Stradivarius violin to a toddler.
They'd smash it, use it as a bat. It would be a disaster.
Exactly. It's an absolutely beautiful thing, but the recipient lacks the capacity to appreciate it. Or imagine giving a peaceful, silent paradise to someone who is internally filled with anger and noise.
They'd be miserable. They'd turn the paradise into a hell within an hour.
So the text advises that instead of chasing the beautiful objects, the house, the car, the status, we should focus on self-refinery.
Self-refinery. That's a key phrase.
It is. If you upgrade your internal software to that absolutely beautiful state, the text argues the beautiful things will come to you naturally. They're a byproduct of who you are.
But the path to that upgrade is the 100-point hardship slog. And the text ends with some advice on how to handle that slog that I found. Oh, but honestly, it was really difficult to swallow.
You're referring to the line about delight.
Yes. Let us bear all the miseries, frustration, and suffering with delight. Delight, not just grit, not just tolerance, but actual enjoyment of misery.
It sounds jarring. I get it. Why should I enjoy pain? But if you look at through the logic the text is built up, if you know for a fact that this specific misery is paying off a debt that's holding you back, and if you know this misery is the only way to earn that 100th point you need, then the misery becomes valuable.
It's like the burn at the gym. You don't love the pain itself.
No one likes their muscles tearing.
But you love what the pain signifies. You delight in the fact that you're getting stronger.
That's it exactly. You delight in the progress, even if the process is painful. It urges you to march firmly toward perfection, strictly following the rules. It's radical acceptance.
Wow. Okay, this has been a really intense dive. We've gone from bargaining with the universe to a world of strict mechanics and permanent records.
It's a worldview that demands total ownership. That's the core theme. There's no, the devil made me do it. No, it was just bad luck.
And no, I'll fix it later.
Everything is a direct result of your alignment or conflict with these laws.
So for you listening, our learner, what's the takeaway here? Even if you don't buy into the theology, is there value in this perspective?
I think the value is in meticulous self-responsibility. We often let ourselves off the hook for small mistakes because we feel we're generally good people.
Right. Being a good parent doesn't excuse being a bad employee.
Exactly. It encourages a kind of holistic integrity. It asks us to stop bargaining with our conscience and start aligning our actions with our values or the laws in every single instance.
It strips away all the excuses.
And while that's intimidating, it's also empowering Because if the rules are mechanical, they're predictable. If you stop drinking the poison, you stop getting sick. You have control over the input.
So you aren't at the mercy of a whimsical deity, you're operating a machine.
And you can learn to operate it better. It's not about luck. It's about alignment.
That's a powerful way to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to leave you with a thought to chew on today. We talked about the monk tang analogy.
The idea that the obstacle is the way.
Right. So here's the question. If you assume that the specific problem you are dealing with right now, the one stressing you out the most, is essentially point number 99 out of 100 that you need to collect to get to your next level.
Yeah.
How does that change the way you handle it?
Does it change it from a disaster into an assignment?
Something to think about next time you feel like bargaining with the universe. Thanks for diving in with us.
It was a pleasure. Stay curious.
See you next time.